Today's Cowboys report made possible by Manscaped. Kellen Moore does not have a beard, but I do, and if you do, you got to get out the new, or try out the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. The leaders in below the waist grooming, helping you out above the chin, or maybe continuing just beyond it as well. 20% off manscaped.com when you use promo code Cowboys. The big news, of course, Kellen Moore is gone and has already found a new offensive coordinator gig. He has mutually parted ways with the Cowboys and then immediately lands the Chargers offensive coordinator job in a span of about 12 hours from announced to, well, maybe it's more like 18, from announced to, hey, I'm going to L.A. there. That's a very quick period of time. The Chargers already requested an interview. They clearly got word of, hey, maybe Kellen does not return as the Cowboys OC. McCarthy will be the de facto offensive coordinator. He will be the play caller for this Cowboys team, which was what I think most of us, myself included, thought was going to be the case when they first hired Mike McCarthy years ago as the Cowboys head coach. Now they will still hire an offensive coordinator, but my hopes for getting any of the big names I'll see in the comment section are not very high. And the reasoning is, I don't believe this is that attractive of an actual job for any of the young, innovative, different offensive minds and voices we might want. Yes, the Cowboys have had a top 5 offense, an established quarterback, and the OC wouldn't get the blame, but he's not the play caller. They won't get any credit. And in terms of job advancement, you're not going to be able to say, like, I was the play caller, give me the job. Like, you don't, there's nowhere to go laterally at that point, and you're not really going to get a big pay raise, or you can get pay raise, but not a bigger role for yourself because you're not calling the plays. Head coach is on the hot seat, by the way. The assistant to the play caller role is not a coveted one. It's why teams will try to hire the assistants behind the young offensive minds like a Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan as those non-play calling assistants, but hiring just for the non-OC role isn't that appealing unless it's a Shanahan or McVay or etc. So our first question, was dumping Kellen Moore the right move? We're going to break down some replacements here momentarily, a lot of names on this list, but let me know. Y for yes, it was. N for no, it was not. We're going to begin with some of the fired guy options. Kliff Kingsbury, the former Cardinals head coach, who, you know what? I doubt he takes the job. It'd be fun to bring him in, but Kliff has kind of implied he's not going to coach this year, and non-play calling OC duties I don't think are particularly appealing to a guy like Kliff Kingsbury. Scott Turner is next up on this list. Now, maybe he does not find an OC job, and maybe at that point, this could make sense for him. He, of course, is the son of Norv Turner. I think was scapegoated by the Commanders and Ron Rivera for having Taylor Heinicke, Carson Wentz, etc. as the play caller, or the quarterback, I should say, in Washington. I would have interest in Scott Turner. It would require Turner to want to come to Dallas, and I'm not sure that is if he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't find an OC job. In that case, he's on my somewhat realistic short list. Now, who do you want as the Cowboys offensive coordinator? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there. Let me know. Who do you want as the Cowboys' new offensive coordinator to help out Mike McCarthy? Byron Leftwich, again, former offensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I would not be surprised if he got an OC role. Maybe a quarterback's coach job like Pittsburgh makes some sense for Leftwich in particular. It would bring in a nice new outside voice. But again, non-play calling OC isn't always the most appealing of the options. I am intrigued, we're going kind of every the one, I guess, in Greg Roman. Roman, I don't want as my play caller. But as a run game focused guy, I have a lot of interest there. Now, maybe some like the Commanders say, oh, no, we'll bring in Greg Roman. That's fine. I would have interest, though, as alongside your new O-line coach, let Roman kind of take control of the ground game. That works for me. I'm not sure the Cowboys would be able to pull it off, but that's, along with Scott Turner, a good fired option name. Some breaking news here on the Cowboys Report. All you bearded guys, me, Jeremy, not Kellen Moore, Manscaped has launched a beard grooming kit. Try using a bunch of different products to maintain your beard. The luxury Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped will take care of you. It is the complete beard maintenance kit, most complete beard maintenance kit you could ever want. Perfect for the modern man on the go. beard hedger, the AC adapter, and the USB-C cable, beard shampoo, beard conditioner, beard oil, beard balm, and a travel bag. And as a special bonus, you'll get a free beard accessory pack with a beard brush, beard comb, and beard. Just literally everything you could want to take care of your mane upstairs. You can also get, when you use promo code COWBOYS, 20% off and free shipping. That's manscaped.com, promo code COWBOYS. That link is in the comment section and the description of today's show. Manscaped.com, promo code COWBOYS, helping out my beard. Even though it's blonde, I can grow one. They ruin the chin, it's balls of your face. Manscaped, leaders in below the waist grooming, helping out the balls of your face too. Manscaped.com, promo code COWBOYS. Some more fired options here. Marcus Brady, kind of would be in a similar role, non-play calling offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be shocked if he ends up maybe back in Philly if they make some moves along their offensive coaching staff with guys leaving. If you want to just swap out OCs, Joe Lombardi, the Chargers OC, who I don't think is that good at what he does. I would have very limited interest in bringing on a Joe Lombardi, but that's at least the name to throw out there, I suppose. But I don't love that option in the end. All right, now for some coaches who are employed, but maybe you could poach or steal. Eric Bienemey is getting interviews from others out there. The problem is, well, he's going to go be a play caller, not a non-play caller. So, great name, off the list. Bobby Slowik has been a very popular name out there on Cowboys social media because he's a Niners. Shanahan, run game stuff, it all makes sense. Here's the issue. Why would he leave a non-play calling assistant role to come be a non-play caller in Dallas? I'm not sure that's really the route they're looking to go. I don't really buy that for the 49ers, or for the Cowboys and for Slowik. It's a fun idea. I'm not going to get my hopes up there. And we have nonstop Cowboys news and rumors this offseason. The link is below, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Free videos every single day when you guys are subscribed. youtube.com/@CowboysTV. The name I would love to get is Brian Johnson, the Eagles quarterback coach. Not because he wanted to coach Dak at Mississippi State, but I think he's one of the better young offensive guys in the NFL. Johnson's a high-impact assistant coach. I think he's worked with a variety of schemes. I'd love to interview him, at least pick his mind on the Eagles side of it, worst case. But is he going to leave for a non-play calling role when he could probably replace Shane Steichen whenever he leaves? Hopes are low. Todd Monken is one of the better college offense coordinators, getting some interest from teams like the Bucs. But again, non-play calling. Why would he leave? That's what makes me a little bit lower expectation. I've seen many Zach Robinson ideas in the comment section. He's the quarterback's coach right now for the LA Rams. Was seemingly in the mix for the Chargers job. Did not get it thanks to Kellen Moore. But would he want to come be an OC? Maybe Thomas Brown, the Rams assistant head coach, has been getting interviews for head coaching jobs, but hasn't been able to get an actual job at this point. Maybe one of those guys would take the OC title and still not be able to call the plays there. Deuce Staley, who is the associate head coach, I should say, for the Lions, also, again, hasn't gotten a head C job because there is no play calling, kind of a lateral move there. An interesting name, along with guys like a Joe Brady or whoever else, is Clint Kubiak, whose brother, by the way, Klein, is a Cowboys scout. Make note of that. Quarterback's coach for Denver. That did not go very well with Russell Wilson. He could be out of a job. Technically, for now, he is still under contract, but you pair the brothers up, and maybe you get some of that offensive scheme with the zone offensive blocking, helps your ground game out in the end. In the end, it will be McCarthy who calls the plays for this Dallas Cowboys team. So what is your confidence level in Mike McCarthy calling the plays? Scale it from 1 on the low end to 10 on the high end. Get those votes as we're going to break down the more likely options for this new Cowboys open offensive coordinator role. First name on the list is Brian Schottenheimer, who is senior assistant analyst for the Cowboys, mostly helping out Dan Quinn with some game planning of opposing offenses and what he would do, how Dan would stop it, etc. Schottenheimer, I think, is under contract, technically speaking. Could just put him in the OC role, help him design the ground game. I prefer the Schottenheimer idea to the Ben McAdoo idea, and I would put my money on one of those two guys. Ben McAdoo was in the Schottenheimer role this time last year for the Cowboys, takes the Panthers' OC job, was never going to work out because that staff was getting fired in the end, and he's a Mike McCarthy buddy. If Mike's going to call the plays, he probably wants someone he knows and trusts and works with that can help do some of the more logistical management stuff beyond just calling the plays on Sunday or Saturday or Monday or Thursday, whenever. Could also see a name like maybe a James Campen, who was, I think, a prime candidate for the open offensive line coaching spot with Joe Philbin gone. That's what had happened before with Green Bay and McCarthy. Former O-line coach with the Panthers. I thought actually did a decent job. O-line coach, sure. OC, no. And Edgar Bennett, who was with Mike McCarthy for a long time in Green Bay, is the receivers coach right now with the Raiders. I will also make a note that you do have to interview at least one outside minority candidate for the updated version of the Rooney Rule. So a McCarthy, Buddy, and Bennett would satisfy it from that standpoint. It's McCarthy's show in the end. And I think because of that, I have low expectations for exactly who the offensive coordinator ends up coming in as. And I don't think it's going to be a big name. I think it's going to be one of your friendly faces that Mike McCarthy knows and trusts because it's his butt on the line this year. I'd love an outside voice. Not going to get my hopes up, though, in the end.